Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Rassle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Callbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Corey Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Rassle Rock. Corey, your hair is a nightmare. What are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it.
Did you curl it, or is it just naturally that curly? Damn, dude.
It's like that all the time. It's just.
I never remembered it being that curly.
Well, it's when it's in a bun for like 40 hours.
You look like Pierre Robert.
Jesus. I just never take it out of the bun ever. So
I've never even tried to grow my hair even half that long.
I got my hair's all wet right now, but usually it's pretty long. Not doing too bad. I haven't gotten a haircut in I don't know how long.
Let's say,
but yeah, man, Mark, you should definitely try and grow your hair. I would love to see what that actually looks like.
Headphones.
I did it once years ago, and I don't know if I have any photos. I just did it as an experiment. I wore a hat for like 6 months, and then I took my hat off the one day.
Dude, for some reason I thought you were going to say I had one of those hats where the long hair was attached to it. Like you were just wearing a wig under a hat, one of those attached wigs.
My sideburns don't attach to my beard, so that it grew all the way down to here. It was just like curling.
It's got that awkward stage of hair. That's the worst part. That's the big deterrent. Nobody wants to work themselves through that.
Yeah, Rick, remember when I had two separate lengths of hair?
Yeah. That
awkwardness that was going on in all of like my mid-20s.
Well, I mean, it was I don't even know if it was the style or not, but I know you and a couple other guys used to shave the sides, like all of the sides. And like it wasn't just down here. Right. It was all up to here, completely all the way around, and you just had like a scalp of long hair.
Right.
Yeah. So growing that out, that was probably a pain.
No,
yeah, that was the awkwardness. The awkwardness in growing that out and like having two different lengths of hair, like putting a hat on and having what seemed to be like hair that came to here, but having really in reality like so much hair on the top. Yeah, it was awkward as hell.
I thought you were talking about how everybody was doing that long hair on the top and then it was going into a V in the back. And they didn't realize it was the Hitler Youth haircut. And then they're going around talking about like civil rights and like everybody's a Nazi. I'm like, you're the one with the Nazi haircut. They're like, what?
I did not see that was the style.
Oh, it was big about 6 years ago. So
no, I did see. I was just making a stupid joke.
I did not see. I get it. Not see that was a style. I get it. Ha ha.
Ha-ha!
So let's talk some wrestling, shall we?
Oh, yeah. That's what we're talking about today, huh?
Now that we got all the Nazi talk out of the way.
Oh, we started, huh?
Yeah, man. Oh, goodness gracious. It's a weird week of wrestling. We had some good stuff. We had some bad stuff. I immediately want to talk about the good stuff because we have, in a couple hours, as of this recording, it's going to come on in a couple hours. We have AEW Double or Nothing. That is happening on Fight TV and Bleacher Report Live. That you're going to be able to watch that. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on this show. I'm very interested in the Casino Battle Royale. A lot of people are saying there's going to be some mystery entrants. We might see Bryan Danielson. We might see Andrade. We might see a couple different people. What do you guys think?
I think Andrade's a lock. I think he's going to show up. But Bryan Danielson, which feels so good to call him by his real name again.
It's not going to happen. Because
I kept slipping up for the longest time. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, if it does, I'm going to be, absolutely, ecstatic about it. But I just got a weird feeling he's taking some time off before he does anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going back.
He had a second kid on the way or something like that.
I think he did. I don't know if she's still pregnant or not. I'm not sure, but I know that's.
You didn't pay that extra for Prime delivery.
That was a good one. Yeah, I know that it was rumored to be one of the main reasons he wanted to take some time off. He just wanted to take some time to be a dad. And the guy only left WWE, 3 weeks ago? Something like that. It's not quite a whole heck of a lot of time. I don't imagine we're going to see him anytime soon.
I highly doubt that he's going to be in AEW.
No. One of the matches I'm really looking forward to, the TNT Championship, Miro versus Lance Archer. These are two people that are insane. Like Miro, Rusev, are you kidding me? He's nuts and he's been doing great. And Lance Archer is just, everybody dies. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. Time to die. So I think it's going to be nuts. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I think I'm most looking forward to is the main event. This is another chance for Orange Cassidy to shine in a match with two major players.
Main event. Okay, I thought you were talking about Stadium Stampede, and I was like,
nah, I'm not. I mean, Stadium Stampede last year was fun, but it wasn't as great as everybody tries to make it out to be. It had some fun points to it, and I think Jericho and the crew are in the ring with less skilled wrestlers this time.
Well, I mean, plus it's the whole gimmick of if the Inner Circle loses, they lose, like they have to disband. And the Pinnacle, from what I've seen, is fairly new.
Yeah, they just started right before Blood and Guts, and they're like, "Oh, if we break up, then we have to not be a thing that we've only been for a month."
But I mean, I can't see these guys disbanding the Inner Circle at all, and then. The Pinnacle, if you have a new team, you don't really want to have them lose, so it's kind of like a lose-lose situation here.
Maybe they're all sitting around and like, yeah, this ain't working, while they're all staring at Spears. And and they're like, well, we need a match where we have to break up.
Dog, did you guys see the tabled pile drivers on Dynamite this week?
I didn't see it.
They did a double. So FTR, both at the same time, pile drove both what are those, the LAX guys, Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah,
they pile drove them off of a stage through tables inside of the Stampede or inside of the stadium, and it was like
it's rough,
sick as hell. Yeah, see if you can find a clip of it, but cripes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what you get with no regulations. People keep on talking about WWE being controlled a little too much, but sometimes you need stuff like that because stuff like this happens a lot with people, almost getting their necks broken. It's a little rough. Me and Cory have seen way too many injuries with like CZW and things like that to look at this and be like, okay, that's not okay. It's not okay anymore. Not for me. I mean, there's an audience for it. Go for it. If it's getting you over, what the hell? If you don't care, you don't mind being a vegetable, in a couple of years or having some severe brain damage, which we've seen many times, go for it. Why not? The people will cheer you. How about Sting's match? Teaming with Darby Allin against Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page in an actual match this time. This isn't going to be one of those cinematic matches. What do you think is going to happen here with Sting?
He's going to punch and kick, tag out. Then he's going to tag back in and punch and kick. Stinger scream, punch and kick, maybe a splash. Darby Allin does everything else.
There's gonna be a face paint and a baseball bat and maybe like a trench coat and old man hair. His hair is so old manish. Like, remember my Uncle Artie, Rick? He has like Uncle Artie's hair. It's ridiculous.
Why am I on?
I have no idea.
I'm sorry, my computer's freezing.
It froze again. No, I don't see much out of this match. I see Darby Allin doing most of the work. I guess they're gonna win, which I'm not really thrilled about either. Now you're up. You're right there, Cory.
Yeah.
We were like,
he's gone. No, but I just got sent this a GIF off of AEWBotches.com or AEW Botches Twitter. It's like somebody was trying to jump onto a crash pad. Oh, here we go. And they missed the crash pad completely on AEW at practice.
Ugh.
And,
Gross.
Whoops.
who wants to try moonsaults today?
I'm gonna miss the crash pad completely. That's a fun follow on Twitter. AEW Botches.
I gotta check that out. I think I tried moonsaults once, and I needed there was like a harness and a trampoline.
Yeah, dude, we did that. I remember that.
People
the cheerleading
me up with a rope.
Yeah.
I tried that, and then I think one time I tried it without the harness, and I landed right in my head. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not a moonsault guy. I'm cool with it.
Must stay on my feet.
I'm cool with never being a moonsault guy. God in heaven, everything's broken.
You guys in the basement. Just leave it like that.
Yeah, it looks great.
I was just going to start like asking dumb questions with his face again.
I hate it.
Do you have an Ethernet cable hooked into your?
Yeah, I should have done that. I didn't want to. I should have done it. I didn't break it out. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, gotta wire that thing. You gotta wire that thing in.
And it's such a giant spool of cable, and I'm in the basement, so I got to drag it all the way upstairs to where the router is, and it's just it's a mess every single time. I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine, and it's never fine.
It's totally worth it to do that. It's
totally worth it.
I know,
especially for somebody like you who always is on internet, always working on something, always doing something that involves podcasting. I mean, you're still doing the podcast with Karen, right?
Nope.
No,
that's over.
No.
That's yeah. There's no more. It's something to do because we ran out of things to do.
Oh man,
we got nothing to do. What are you gonna do? But yeah. So moving on from AEW to WWE, I really enjoyed SmackDown this week. This just happened a couple days ago for us. This is the stuff I was talking about when I was talking about what is going to happen if Roman Reigns wins at WrestleMania. Like we went through Cesaro, and that was kind of like getting Cesaro to Seth Rollins. But now we have who is going to beat Roman Reigns. We have Jimmy Uso is back. We have, is Jay going to be with Roman? Is he going to be with Jay? There's so many things that can happen here. The Usos have a tag team title match next week against the Mysterios. Mm-hmm. Which direction are they going? Are they going with Usos win the tag team titles and then maybe Roman loses the Universal title and then all of a sudden the Usos are the head of the table at the Samoan family? Or are we going with Roman Reigns is going to go after Jimmy and to protect Jay? Or are we going to have like a Roman versus Jimmy thing with Jay as a special guest referee? Are we going to have Roman versus both Usos? What is going on here? There's so many different ways that they can go, and I'm excited for all of them.
Yeah, it's really cool to have it look like it's got that many possibilities. Like the storytelling with Roman, this whole like pandemic era has been so amazing. It's what's the coolest is now I'm looking forward to seeing all of those questions play out in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
And see how a live audience will react to it. And also, like, are they going to continue to, our live audience is going to continue to boo Roman? Like, or are they going to be like, wow, we love him. This is undeniably good.
Well, I think this is going to be, I think it's going to be a slow burn for now. I think they're talking about Cena for SummerSlam, which I'm not sure if they're going to put the kibosh on that after, him apologizing to China, because from what I hear, WWE was not happy at all about that. Kind of made him weak and like a chump.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, so John Cena. There's a lot of stuff you don't. It's basically China wants Taiwan, so they won't recognize them as a country. And if you want your movies played in China, you cannot show a Taiwan flag. You cannot mention Taiwan, and you can't at all. And you can't mention that they are an actual sovereign nation. So John Cena called it the country of Taiwan in an interview, and he had to go on and apologize to China that he actually said a real country was a country, just to make the Chinese market happy. So, from what I hear, WWE's upset now because they think what it is a lot of the audience who are like rah Americans are not going to be happy that Cena did what he did. So they don't know if they just lost market value because of him coming in, like with him coming in. So now the rumor is I think they talked to Mr. Lesnar. So I think Brock might be coming back for SummerSlam with Roman. I think the Uso thing is going to be a slow burn, and then that's going to end up into being something big later in the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Cena thing is unfortunate. The Lesnar thing is a big rumor. I think Paul Heyman mentioned something about Lesnar. You know, is Lesnar coming back? Is he not coming back? Doing one of those Paul Heyman teases things that he does. So we might get Lesnar and Reigns at SummerSlam. That might be awesome. Yeah, the Usos thing, who knows? We still have Hell in a Cell that has no Roman Reigns booked as of right now, so we're gonna have to watch that play out. If it's leading up to like Reigns versus Jimmy Uso, I think this has been a great build so far. If that's what they're going with. As far as SummerSlam goes, we got some news about that this week. SummerSlam's going to be on a Saturday this year. For the first time ever, I think.
Yay, another day I'm working. The other day I bartend on.
Right. Can't be on a day where Mark's free. But for the rest of us, yay. For the rest of us that have weekends off. I'm excited about it. I can actually watch the entire thing and not have to worry about being exhausted the next day at work. I don't know. What do you guys think, man? Is this happy news? What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. It's not life-changing stuff, but it's definitely cool. I mean,
I think it's better. Mm-hmm. I think better wise, like you said, Rick, like nobody wants to sit there and watch a pay-per-view till like almost midnight on a Sunday. So, it's a good testing ground. It's also live. Like they're going to have live fans in the crowd. Mm-hmm. I guess it's one of those things like wait and see like how they do in the ratings for SummerSlam to see if it actually helps or does nothing. I think there's a major boxing match on the same day, so that may interfere with ratings, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something's happening in Vegas. I think Pacquiao and somebody. I don't follow boxing, so I don't know. But it'd be very, very interesting. Like you said, Mark, with the live crowds. I know that was a big thing. Anytime I went to a pay-per-view, or even like a Monday Night Raw, or back when SmackDown was on Tuesdays, you know, you go to watch the show, but then there's always, you know, a 205 Live or something like that after it that you're not sticking around for because you got work the next day. And then pay-per-views, like you said, go to midnight. So it's like, do you want to leave early after you just paid like $50 a ticket for a pay-per-view or something like that? And, you know, I'm sure that being on Saturday is going to attract more fans.
Yeah, then
going.
Then you think about what was it Mania the one year where it went like overtime and then the buses didn't even pick up anybody from Madison Square Garden. they were all sitting out there like 2 and 3 in the morning trying to find a way home, paying like insane Uber prices.
Yeah.
And imagine you got work the next day and you didn't even get in the door till like 3, 4 in the morning from a 7-hour show you've been standing for.
That's just the time where you're just like, you know what? I'm sick. Cough, cough. Sorry, boss, not coming in. That's it.
Yeah, after you told everybody at work for a month that you're going to WrestleMania and then you don't show up the next day. Oh, I'm sick, guys.
Oh, I'm so sick from all that fun. That fun made me so sick.
Oh, goodness. Something else happened in the news this week. There's been reports that WWE might be in talks with New Japan for a partnership. Have you guys heard about this?
In the news. I didn't read too much of articles on it, but I saw the headlines. What's the deets on that?
No, not too many deets so far. It's pretty much just talk. It's been reported by Dave Meltzer, though, so it's, as far as we can tell, it's legit. We have this is coming off the heels of AEW and their partnership with Impact, and apparently they've been in talks. WWE has been in talks with New Japan since late March, early April. So I think they're trying to work something out. I don't know if this is going to be good or not, because we had the closest thing we had like this with WWE was when they were kind of partnering with ECW back in the day. Which was barely at all. We got a couple ECW guys on a Monday Night Raw, and Sandman sat front row at a pay-per-view, and Jerry Lawler showed up on ECW one time, and that was pretty much it.
Times are different now. I mean, things could probably be way better, considering they have minds like Triple H, who runs NXT. So I think if anything, it'll be probably a talent exchange that affects NXT more than it affects WWE main roster action. But I saw when I saw it, I was excited that it was going on, because I automatically thought, imagine the possibilities. What if we were to get a Aleister Black Kazuchika Okada match?
Sure.
That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they actually brought Aleister Black back out after he debuted last week. He just disappeared again. Yeah. My whole thing is, I think it's some kind of stop, almost like block, blockade. So AEW or ROH or somebody smaller won't be working with New Japan. So they can pretty much stop that. And I think it's also a way of stopping wrestlers from jumping ship to New Japan at the same time. But
on top of that too, they could license the footage, because they have AJ Styles stuff, they have Finn Balor stuff, they have a bunch of really cool. So they could license some footage from New Japan, and Shinsuke Nakamura, of course, a lot of footage of his.
That would be cool. I just hope if they do anything that crosses over, maybe it's just a one-time a year event where they have WWE wrestlers wrestling New Japan. I don't want any real storylines, because WWE right now, when it comes to storylines, especially if it's Raw characters, it's going to be garbage. Mm-hmm. But if they can just do a crossover where it's hey, AJ's going to wrestle Naito, and then you have this whole lineup where Ibushi's wrestling Ricochet and stuff like that on one card, and we just get to see it with all this as a competition card with no storyline really. I think it could be really cool.
Think about that event that they had. That event they had with Brock Lesnar against Kofi. It was Beasts in the East or whatever. That if they did something like that again, but teamed with New Japan to do it, that could be a more marquee event. It was. They were oh, it's 5 a.m. and only a couple people that I know of actually got up and watched it. But I mean, probably. Motivate people to tune into that.
Mm. It's definitely cool, and I think actually what you said is probably the right thing. I think more of it is a deal for archive footage. I think they're trying to get AJ's footage. I think they're trying to get Shinsuke and especially Finn Balor. Why I don't know after this week's NXT. And they're probably grabbing, so they have archives. So they can get what's his name over in NXT. They can get his footage too. Kushida, which I think would really help Kushida. Even though he is a champion right now, really build him as a legit threat by seeing what he did over in New Japan. Mm-hmm. But the other thing is I hope if they do anything, it's just a big clash. I don't want an invasion angle. No more invasion angles. I'm done with them. They're never handled well because you have way too many big names involved, and there's no way to make everybody look good, and it always ends up being a debacle. I'd rather see just, hey, we're gonna have this massive pay-per-view. I mean, you could have guys show up here and there and like jump one of the guys who's supposed to wrestle just to like build intrigue, but
yeah, I bet it has to be building up to some kind of big event that's already been announced. It can't be like, Okada showing up on Raw or SmackDown and cutting a promo for no reason out of nowhere, and then he's jobbing out to Baron Corbin. Like, it's like why would we have that? Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that at all.
The other hard thing too is like, yeah, we're all wrestling geeks and we try to watch as much as we can within reason. But say like a normal WWE fan only watches WWE. Like, yeah, it's Okada, who we all know is like, if he shows off on screen, we're gonna be like, oh my god. Everybody else will be like, who's that dude? And then you're gonna have like Corey Graves and all them screaming that it's Okada. Trying to make it sound like he's a big deal, and everybody else is just gonna be like, "Who? Like, why do I care?" Like,
if they did like an NXT takeover in Japan,
that would be dope.
That would be really, really cool to watch, and they could build it so great. Like, especially if they were able to license some New Japan footage to just get people familiar with who these characters are and why it matters for those characters to cross-pollinate with these NXT stars. I'd be into it for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely be into. Yeah, just the thought of in your house takeover New Japan, like that just makes me salivate right there. I definitely would love to see that. Going on to some fairly bad news. More firings have been happening in the WWE. 35 people have been fired from WWE backstage things in the office, in the production truck, cameramen.
Anybody in the production should be fired if it's Raw.
Well, I mean, it's not just writers and things like that. It's people that are working for the YouTube channel. People that we're always talking about how awesome the video packages are. A lot of those guys lost their job this week. Again, they're just calling for budget cuts. I don't know what budget they have that they're losing so much money because they have all these people. But
well, I mean, it's probably to ramp up for paying for all the production costs of touring. And by touring, when you go out on tour, you hire subcontractors every city that you're in. So they'll probably go back to doing that. So a lot of the people who were like steady having something while they were stuck in Florida, now they're gonna subcontract that out to every city they're in.
Well, not only that, when you're touring, we still don't know how many people are actually going to come out to the events, how many people are going to spend money. They might be already setting up something. So like it's impossibility of losing money going to certain towns, and like they're only doing small audiences.
Oh yeah, they might just take a bath in every city. They might just totally eat their butts.
You don't know, man. Like I live in Center City, Philly. We're still like kind of locked down, whereas the rest of the state is pretty much open. And you don't know if you're going to head into like these cities like that, and they're like locked down, and people are still like afraid to even go out to an event like that. So you don't know how you're going to do in each city. So they might be just as usual because they're a corporation, and we keep forgetting that. They're already cutting people loose just to stop the loss of money, even though they're making insane money. Every time the bottom dollar looks like it's going to drop, they will cut people. It's just how corporations work, man.
The corporations are all corporation-y.
I mean, there's, I get what you guys are saying, but it just sucks that it's still a year that WWE is reporting with record-breaking profits, that they're just cutting all these people.
It's a preemptive. It's a preemptive, like getting prepared for some major losses, because they're probably going to eat their ass in a lot of these towns.
Well, I hope they enjoy eating their own balls.
Yeah, like you think some cities may, like I think Philadelphia just up their how many people consider the Phillies game and a Sixers game again. So imagine they put Philadelphia on tour, but they can only do 60% of the venue. Like how much money are they losing at the gate? And then that's every other major city too, especially that's under strict lockdowns. I mean, then you go to Dallas and it's wide open, or Tampa Bay and it's wide open, and they can fill a whole stadium. But like, they don't know how much money they're going to lose on this tour until everything officially opens for real.
I mean, I'd be curious to see the size. If they're just going to go right back to arenas, or if like NBA arenas, or if like they'll find smaller venues. That might be smarter to do, considering that like they might sell out a building that's smaller instead of having big empty chunks because of people not coming or restrictions in those areas.
This is the Vince McMahon machine we're talking about, though. He's going to want bigger, like, oh yeah, we're the top. He's going to want those larger attractions when some of them may not be there. And I think the smaller venue is a smarter idea. I think staying in those like maybe 10,000 seaters, 12,000 seaters instead of the 20,000 is probably a smarter idea, because even if there's not as many people allowed there, you can set it up where you can hide a lot of that. And then in a 20,000 seater, and you're only allowed like half the people in there, like it's going to be empty. No matter what you do, it's going to be empty. It's still going to be cool because people are going to be cheering. I'm going to be happy. I mean, to them, they're looking at the money at the gate. They're not thinking about the enjoyment side on the other side of the television when we finally get to hear people cheer for who they want to, and boo who they want to, and we don't have to listen to their stupid sound sweetening and that Drew chant they do every Monday night, which I want to throw something through my TV every time I hear it. So dumb. It's like, shut up.
Nobody's chanting.
He acts like a heel, but he's a face. I don't know which side he's on. Dude, figure it out, please, because I'm sick of it.
Well, to go along with the firings, we lost two people that we know. Tom Phillips has been released, which kind of sucks. The guy's been there almost a decade. And another commentator. What's that?
Got to stop showing your peen on phone cameras and you'll be all right.
Stop doing that. That's just a blanket statement for everyone. Stop doing that.
You're from Philly, man. How have you not learned not to show your peen? You show other people's peens on the camera when the girls ask.
Is that the move? That's the move? I didn't know that was the move.
Yeah, you get a picture of a porn star's peen and you show that instead.
But then you make expectations.
Yeah.
Or do you find a porn star's peen that's like very similar to yours?
No, what would be the purpose? Then just show. Why?
Because then it's not a picture of your peen.
Corey, are you looking for an instruction book? Is that what's happening? Do you need some...
It's been so long.
101.
It's been so long. I forget if that's what he got in trouble for. Or he was saying, like, I know he was like soliciting from a girl, like, and he was like harassing her or something, like with some like really like explicit sexual comments. So I think that's where he disappeared for a while, and then he brought him back, and then he disappeared again. And I think they're just going to do away with him. They brought an MMA guy on because they fired what's his name from ESPN already. Also,
Adnan Virk. Adnan Virk is gone. The guy was there 6 weeks as the lead commentator on Monday Night Raw, and then he's out the door as well. And no, that's why I think it's a mistake to get rid of Tom Phillips, because the guy at least knows the deal. Like, he knows he's going to have people screaming in his ear. He knows how to do it. He knows what he's doing. He's not the greatest, but I mean, to bring in this guy Jimmy Smith from MMA, from Bellator, from UFC, all this other stuff he's done. Sure, he has great commentary experience, but he doesn't have WWE commentary experience, which is a completely different thing.
His product knowledge might be in the can, just like the same as Adnan. Like, I mean, he was kind of learning as he went, as far as like product knowledge.
How do you learn how you go in WWE with product knowledge when literally there's a man screaming in your ear while you're trying to learn? Like I bet money he quit. I got a weird feeling he walked out. I don't even think WWE got rid of him. I bet money, like, after the 6th week, he's like, this is stupid. Like, he's like, I got some 7-year-old man screaming in my ear, like, sound more exciting, do this, sound sad, like, And
sound sad.
How do I sound more excited?
Sound sad. I want you to get out there and sound sad.
When this happens, I want you to cry on screen.
He gave him a suplex.
Poor Todd Phillips. The problem with him though is like as soon as they go to live crowds, they'll just have signs over it. Go, I know what your peen looks like.
Nothing's worse than the forced "It Sting."
Yeah. Dude, it was great when he did it the first time. Yeah. It was so emotional when he did it the first time.
It's so forced now,
and now it's so forced. I hate it.
You try to go that well too many times.
May the force not be with you.
Yes, stop forcing it. But I think it's about that time, folks. We're going to shine a spotlight on somebody that's been doing great all week. And we're going to do that with a segment called Who Wins Wrestling? Who wins wrestling? Blah, 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 blah. All right, who's got one?
I will say...
You want to go?
I will say the Dirty Dogs.
Dirty Dogs.
Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode are really making Dominic matter. And that's something like that only somebody that professional can do. So they're like giving him the credit by putting him over in the ring, but being able to like downplay him as a character. I really like what they're doing, and I see their hard work, and I think that Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode win wrestling this week.
Very nice, very cool. I agree. SmackDown in general, I think, did so well this week. Just for tag teams, like not only did you have the whole Uso thing with Roman Reigns, but then you had the Usos versus the Street Profits, and then you had that match you were just talking about for the tag titles. It was a great match. And then you had the women's tag team title was on the line for the first time in so long. Nia Jackson's Chain of Bandits weren't involved in it. So you had like a great tag team night on SmackDown. Total win. Mark, what do you got?
I'm going with Raquel Gonzalez.
Nice.
I like the fact that in loss, they're doing what Raw doesn't do. Like they actually had a straight up pin where Dakota Kai loses, and then Raquel Gonzalez destroys what's her name? Shotzi Blackheart in front of Ember Moon. And just says this is what you guys get for like, and it just made her look so much stronger than any of the females. What they tried to do with Rhea, what they tried to do with Charlotte, she just looks like the female Brock Lesnar they've been wanting. Like she just annihilates people, and I love it. It's just so much fun. And I like that they didn't break her and Dakota Kai up because Dakota's like the person that loses when they're in tag team. So I like they kept them together because it's a huge part of her character is keeping Dakota there.
Dude, but, yeah. I have to say, in that match, Ember Moon is such a star. She was so good. Like, anytime you saw her and Raquel Gonzalez are such money. That's going to be such a quality program when they finally get into singles competition with each other. But I think they could probably put Shotzi against Dakota Kai or something.
Yeah,
and that would be fine.
Yeah, I just like the fact that someone actually got pinned, and it wasn't like a surprise roll up. It wasn't a distraction. It wasn't disqualification. Dakota Kai actually lost the match, which makes Shotzi and Ember look good. But then you get your heat back for your champion, who, like I said, like there's something about her that's connecting better, I think, at least with me than Rhea Ripley did. There was always something off about Rhea to me, where this girl just there's something the way she carries herself. That she looks like she's a badass in the ring too, and then just destroying Shotzi by just throwing her into the ring. I mean, well, that weird fence plexiglass thing around the ring over and over again, and then just dropping her face on the ring rail was nice. It's just so much nicer to see someone get pinned for a change.
Yeah. I was looking forward. I thought they were going to do more with the. With Mercedes Martinez, because Raquel destroyed her like the week before or maybe 2 weeks ago.
Well, they just had her go over on some enhancement talent.
Yeah,
she just got marked.
So I mean, it's
in their Bray Wyatt of NXT, she just got marked. So
yeah. I mean, I just I guess maybe she's going to be doing this every week, just wrecking somebody else, or maybe they are just going to go with her and Ember Moon. Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, they're putting Mercedes with that. What's that?
Xylee.
Yeah, that's
Xylee.
Xylee. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't get that because I don't think that's going to mesh well. As good as Mercedes is, I don't know how well that's going to mesh. We never even talked about it. What did you think about Finn Balor losing again?
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it, just because.
Dude, I wasn't.
It's like, okay, he lost, but now what? Like, where do you go with him now? Like, and if you won, then what do you do with Karrion Kross? Like it was just kind of like they painted themselves into a corner with that.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a third match, and they'll probably have him be the Fiend.
Second.
No, this was the second match.
This was the second? I thought this was a third.
They're going to have a third, and he's going to be the Fiend.
Oh,
because the Fiend is undefeated, and so is Karrion Kross. So that'll be a marquee. Wow, the Fiend versus the Killer Kross.
You're talking about the Demon as Finn Balor, right? Not the actual Fiend?
No, I'm sorry. I said Fiend. Yes, the Demon. The Demon. Okay. Whatever. The entity that is...
I'm very confused. I don't know what's happening.
Yes, the Demon. The Demon is undefeated. The Demon King. Prince.
Yeah.
Prince Fergal Devitt.
My pick for women's wrestling, I'm going with Jimmy Uso, just because the guy was off for a year. He came back. He had a fantastic match with the Street Profits, tag team match opener, and now he's immediately in this whole drama with Roman Reigns and his brother Jey Uso. I'm super excited to see where it goes. I can't wait for next week. I'm hoping they. I don't know. I don't know who even want to win next week. The Usos and the Mysterios, because they're doing great as well. So I don't know, but Jimmy Uso, man, he's looking fantastic.
Sometimes I feel like a team member on Family Feud when you guys say who wins wrestling, and I'm like, good answer, good answer, good answer.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, the sad part though is like we're not even Raw wasn't even mentioned.
No, well, I mean.
Nobody wins wrestling in Raw. They just
no. Well, how can you? Well, you have stuff like Rhea Ripley losing to Nikki Cross in 2 minutes because she forgot that it was a 2-minute match after it was just announced. Like, what the hell was that about?
I was drunk. I didn't.
I didn't retain any of it. Like I fast forwarded through tons of it, and I
couldn't get into it. Yeah. I could not get into it. It was just so bad and so all over the place. And then that's what makes me upset is I don't get to watch AEW because like at least AEW has a storyline and I can probably enjoy it. I only get to see the clips.
Dude, I have to say that I really like the Darby Allin versus Caesar Baloney, whatever his name is, Caesar.
Oh, the guy from he was from AEW.
Yeah. Yes, that's where I watched.
He was. That guy from AEW that was on AEW.
He's from he was an NXT prospect.
Well, they did a good job. I liked it, and it was really cool seeing also an AEW seeing like a live audience, like a full live audience, and like hearing them pop and be organic and be. I'm more excited to see crowds come back everywhere.
That's what I'm worried about too. Like Raw's going to have a crowd, and are they even going to show up for Raw? That's the first question. And if they do, are they just going to boo everything just to get Raw to like, oh, we might need to change some stuff.
Yeah, they should definitely make Raw like the PG-14 show. Like keep SmackDown what it is and make Raw. Remember how there was WWF magazine and then there was Raw magazine?
Yeah.
Like they do that with the show. That would be something neat AF. I think I think that one of the shows probably should belong on like HBO Max, so they can like have more R-rated stuff.
They could. They could always do a completely different show. It doesn't have to be Monday Night Raw that you're changing. Just do an R-rated show. Why not? Completely different brand. Completely different. Set it off somewhere different. Call it Raw Underground. There you go. Saved it. But so we got to start wrapping up the show here. I just want to talk about real quick next week and the week after. There's not going to be a podcast because we're going to be doing a live stream because we have NXT in your house on Sunday, and the following Sunday we have Hell in a Cell. So 2 pay-per-views back to back. We're back to that, doing that again, and we're not even at live audiences yet. But that's what we're going to be doing. Mark, I'm sure you're going to try and jump on when you can. I'm going to talk to Eddie Valentine. Really wants to get on to do NXT, so I'm sure he's going to be there. And we'll talk to Nick Burke and Nico Sozio. Maybe we'll have some new guests as well.
I'm going to have someone pop on, maybe the Money in Bank. He is a CZW trainee.
Oh.
He's not the most charismatic, but
welcome him to our entertaining show.
I thought I'd bring him on. He wants to talk about like CZW is actually trying to change their image. So the way they're training the kids are actually trying to train them as wrestlers, and they're trying to get away from the hardcore stuff. So he just wanted to come on and talk.
Excuse me. That kind of hurts me a little bit.
Ouch.
So, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I'm just going to tear up my certificate that says CZW graduate, wrestling school graduate. Just tear that right the hell up.
But they're doing away with the hardcore stuff.
Okay. Good.
Well, they were never training students to be hardcore students.
Until you walk in the door.
They didn't go, hey, do 500 Hindu squats, then take 200 light tubes. That was never a thing.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting. We'll talk to him when he comes on. What'd you say? Hell in a Cell he's coming on?
I thought I'd bring him on for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Yeah, why not? If you remember. That's
I
how
may
important
have
our guests are here at Rassle Rock.
I may have 4 tables at the time. And
we'd bring Hannah back on.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Because we want to get kicked off a live stream immediately for cursing too much. All right, let's start wrapping this up. Corey, you got anything to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, dude. So this Wednesday, I'm going to be hosting a comedy showcase in Philly at what's the place called? The Photo Club on Frankfurt Avenue in Philly.
Photo Club?
Yeah. It's FOTO, Photo Club.
Yeah, it's an industry after-hour bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be hosting comedy there on Wednesday. And then, of course, on Saturday, Rick will probably give you more details, but on Saturday I will be defending my No Limit Championship at the Delaware Auto Exchange in Felton, Delaware against Ethan Essex in a no effing limits match.
Yeah.
Where I'll use my CCW training.
Yeah.
And make sure, like I say every week, make sure if you like what we're doing, let us know you exist. Comment on the video below if you're watching this on Rick's YouTube. If you're following us if you're listening on the audio on any of the podcasting platforms, make sure you leave us a review, leave us a comment, let us know you exist. We love to hear from you guys. So absolutely always reach out to us. Make sure you also, if you feel called to, for the fact that you've spent the currency of your effort here on our show today, check out my other podcast. It's called Evolving with Cory Castle. As you can see, if you're watching the video, Evolving with Cory Castle is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cory Castle. where I got new episodes dropping every Monday at noon. And, be fun, have safe.
Very nice. Mark, you got anything?
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy
All three of us, by the way, now have Twitter handles. It's all three of us now. So, yeah, Rick Matters, at Cory Castle, at Callbacher Mark. So make sure you hit us up on Twitter if you want to.
These are my only followers. I haven't used Twitter in so long.
So follow Mark on Twitter, man. Follow somebody that only has 3 people following him. Give him a happy Memorial Day. Cory was talking about the DCW show that is happening next weekend. That is Saturday, June 5th. It's going to be happening at the Delaware Auto Exchange in Felton, Delaware at 6 p.m. You're going to see a lot of great matches. You're going to see Cory Castle versus Ethan Essex. You're going to see Galby Gilbert making her return to Dynamite Championship Wrestling. You're going to see RGP. You're going to see Hobo Harry. You're going to see Omega Phoenix. You're going to see all your favorites down there. So please be sure to go down there and check it out. I'm very much looking forward to it. A return to the Delaware Auto Exchange. This is not just another fire hall. This is an actual arena that we are going into.
I'm most excited about.
Yeah, it's an actual big-ass building. If you want to know what the building looks like, check out my YouTube channel at tinyurl.com/YouTube Rick Connor. I am currently uploading now shows from the 302 Professional Wrestling Show that happened back in 2016 at this same building. So you can check out the venue and see how awesome it looks. Definitely go and check that out. Also, I'm just posting, I don't know when it's going to be up, sometime next week. Raven showed up at this 302 show. So we're going to see what that dude looked like, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was. And it's not good. But, yeah, check that out. And I'm
going to encourage you to watch something that ain't good.
No, I'm saying he doesn't look good, is what I'm saying. Because Raven just unrecognizable now, right, compared to what he was back in ECW. But check that out. Check out my check out RassleRock.com for more episodes of this show in audio form, in video form, and also check out the merchandise store because everything on there is connected to a charity. That'll be about it for this episode of Rassle Rock. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Rick Connor.
Mark Hawaker.
Cory Castle.
And let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burke.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Rassle Rock. This has been Jay Davis speaking.
This has been Jay Davis speaking. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way, I like it.